Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. First off, what exactly is VTEC? VTEC stands for Variable Valve Timing and Lift Electronic Control. It es Honda es genius way of getting the best of both worlds. Good fuel economy at low RPMs and a surge of power at high RPMs. It does this by using oil pressure to switch between different cam profiles. When the P1259 code appears, it means your car's computer, the EC, isn't seeing that VTEC system engage when it's supposed to. This usually happens when you try to rev the engine past about 3,000 to 4,000 RPM. You'll notice the check engine light comes on, and your car might go into a limp mode, limiting the RPMs to protect the engine. So, what are the most common culprits behind a P1259 code? The number one cause? Be langsot? Is low or dirty engine oil. The VTEC system is entirely dependent on oil pressure to work. If your oil level is below the minimum mark on the dipstick, there won't be enough pressure to activate the VTEC solenoid. Similarly, if your oil is old, sludgy, and full of gunk, it can clog up the tiny passages and screens that the oil needs to flow through. Before you do anything else, check your oil. Pull out the dipstick, wipe it clean, reinsert it, and check the level. If it's low, top it up with the correct type of oil for your car. If it looks dark and dirty, an oil change is your first and cheapest step. If your oil level is good and the oil is clean, the next thing to check is the VTEC solenoid itself. This is the component that directs the oil flow to engage the system. It's usually located on the back of the cylinder head. The solenoid has a small gasket with a filter screen built into it. Over time, this screen can get completely clogged with sludge and debris, blocking oil flow. You can typically remove the solenoid with just a few bolts. Once it's off, carefully inspect that screen. If it's clogged, you've likely found your problem. You can try cleaning it with some brake cleaner and a soft brush, but these gaskets aren't expensive, so replacing it is often the best bet to ensure a good seal and a clean screen. While you have the solenoid off, it's a good idea to test the solenoid itself. It's an electronic part, and it can fail. You can test its resistance with a You're typically looking for a reading between 14 and 30 ohms. You can also apply 12 volts directly from your car battery to the solenoid's terminals. When you do, you should hear a distinct click as the internal plunger moves. If you don't hear a click or the resistance is out of spec, the solenoid is bad and needs to be replaced. Another related component is the VTEC oil pressure switch. This switch is what tells the ECU whether or not there is enough oil pressure in the VTEC system. If this switch fails, it might send a false signal, triggering the P1259 code even if the oil pressure is perfectly fine. You can test this switch for continuity with a There should be no continuity when the engine is off, and continuity when the engine is running and creating oil pressure. Also, check the wiring and connector going to both the solenoid and the pressure switch. A frayed wire or a corroded connector can interrupt the signal and cause all sorts of headaches. So, to recap the diagnostic steps. First, always check your engine oil level and condition. This solves the problem more than half the time. Second, if the oil is fine, inspect and clean or replace the VTEC solenoid gasket and screen. Third, test the VTEC solenoid for proper electrical function. Fourth, check the VTEC oil pressure switch and its wiring. By following these steps in order, you can systematically track down the cause of that P1259 code without just throwing parts at the problem. It's usually a simple and affordable fix. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope this guide helps you get that P1259 code cleared for good. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more DIY car repair videos. Let me know in the comments if you've had this code and what fixed it for you. See you in the next one.